Hello, so I want to talk about sustainability. This will focus on ways you can be sustainable going back to school or back to work. If you're someone who keeps forgetting like the reusable grocery bag or something, you can use like a tiny cute little backpack. I just kind of wear it to the mall, whatever I would need in my purse, like, you know, credit card license. I'll walk around the mall and then go grocery shopping and just put it in there. So I don't need to remember the reusable grocery bag. You can have a tote if you feel too much like a child wearing a backpack. But also when I was busing and it was really heavy to have bags, I just used a mini suitcase, a carry-on suitcase. It was perfect. Okay, now that it's getting cooler, do you really need your AC on? I know so many people are obsessed with blasting the AC and then wearing thick blanket and socks and just like cozying up. Sure, it's cozy once in a while. Make it a treat then, I guess, if you need to feel that. But just have the AC be a little lower and then you can just wear less at night. It's so redundant. Have the forethought to map out your errands. Let's say this is a map. You live here. You have, I don't know, you have to send something to the post office here and then get your tire changed here. I know a lot of people who will be home, get your tire changed, and then not plan it. And then like the next day have to come here for the printing or whatever. And then maybe the next day they'll get groceries, which is like here. Why don't you organize just a little bit, plan ahead, and the errands that are in the same area of the city, just try to schedule them at the same time in the same day, so you don't have to go like just do these things at once. You don't have to keep driving back and forth. Just try to kind of organize things that are in the same area, especially in these gas prices and this economy. Efficacy is everything to me. Really hate commuting and wasting my time. And I also, for online shopping, instead of adding to cart, I'll just buy now. Next week, oh, I need this too, I'll just buy now. You can add things to your cart, maybe wait a few weeks depending how desperately you need it or how low you're running out on whatever, and then try to buy a bigger cart instead of multiple small ones, you know? Not only is it the packaging it comes in, that driver is wasting the gas coming to your place multiple times rather than just once, you know? Efficiency. I'm seeing fashion be a lot more in reach for the average person. Fast fashion websites, now a lot more people can afford to be stylish. And definitely for people who can only afford that, I understand. It is really, really great to have a lot of different things to choose from, like switching up your style from, I'm seeing a lot of cottagecore to like badass tech wear. Try to buy things that will, you know, look good with many different types of outfits, many different clothes that you have. That helps reduce and saves you money. If you're someone who knows that your taste changes pretty frequently, maybe start looking at buying staples that will be timeless. Maybe don't buy the trendy new things or crazy colors if you don't think you're gonna actually wear that in 5 or even 1 year's time. Trying to buy less and filter through clothes less. Like, I know my friend, I love her to pieces, but she constantly like reinvents her wardrobe, goes through it, gives everything away, then buys more. But I just don't want to be owning that many things. Not only does it take up a bunch of room and space that cost a lot of money, people do have choice fatigue. This is actually like studies done on this. I'm not really explaining it well. I personally will keep reusing the clothes that I buy for years. I still wear things from 12 years ago. And you know, once things start falling apart, you can start using them as rags or something. Or maybe if you're into sewing, you can make like a patchwork thing. For quality materials, these cheap ones though are made cheaply. They're not built to last, obviously. I still wear them until I can no longer wear them. But if it's something that you're like really not into anymore, either it doesn't fit or it's just not your style at all anymore, You can either sell them or donate them. I bring my trusty dusty water bottle everywhere I go, even when I was going to bars. And I really like the metal ones because they don't crack. Every plastic water bottle I've tried from Walmart, even the more expensive ones, but it also helps keep it much cooler than the plastic ones. Because I throw it at the bottom of my backpack, it'll sometimes unleash that mechanism, like something pressing down on it. So I really like to go for ones that either lock like that, now it doesn't open, or ones that you have to click while you're sipping on them. I really like Contigo a lot. I work in film and we get all our meals. I'm very, very grateful. So for breakfast and lunch and subs, substantials or hot snacks, sandwiches, we get a plastic, thing with the plastic fork, spoon, knife, and a napkin, and sometimes salt and pepper. Usually I'm only using the fork from that entire thing. So that's 3-4 times a day that you're getting this thing, throwing it out. I just bring a little fork now. You can bring just the regular old, like the metal one that you have in your drawer. Or if that's taking up a lot of room, you can buy those little like plastic ones that like fold in half and they're easy to clean. If you're bringing snacks to work or to school, I like to buy in bulk, and then instead of having like a million little snack size portions all wrapped in plastic individually, it's a huge thing of mixed nuts or banana chips, whatever you're eating, and then I just put it into tiny plastic containers or glass. At least don't be buying disposable, individually packaged things, like individually packaged bananas or like pre-cut up fruit. I guess if you're really in a bind and you need it for like that day at work because you forgot to pack food, but if you're buying it and you have an extra minute to cut a watermelon, you also pay less and get more for that. So it's definitely worth it. Buying produce that's in season will just taste a lot better and will be cheaper. Farmers markets are really great. I see a lot of people letting the water run while I'm rinsing off a plate. So I turn on the water, rinse the plate. Now I go to, grab something out of the fridge, put it on the counter, water's still running. I grab this here, grab some other things. That water has been running for like 2 minutes now, and all you needed was to just rinse something. You can turn it off in between that. I personally go so far as to turn off my tap when I'm brushing my teeth. Like I wet my toothbrush, put on the paste, I turn it off and then brush my teeth. A lot of people will leave it running even though you're brushing for however long, right? Sometimes if I remember, I will wet my hands in the soap, then turn off the tap and then lather up and wash and, then turn the tap back on. But that one, like maybe a little bit extreme, but especially for the first one that I said, having it running even though you're not using it at all, it's wasteful. I often see when I'm at university or at work or even in the mall, you hear the automatic toilet is flushing and flushing and flushing. Like clearly the sensor has something wrong or the tap keeps running, it's like overflowing, and everyone is just doing the bystander effect where no one does anything about it. Especially if you're near to customer services or like a janitor or something, wherever you are, just try to let them know. It takes an extra 2 minutes to seek them out. Maybe at a mall it's a bit harder, but when it's a smaller building, try to find a worker. I do think it's important to take initiative and not just coast, someone else will take care of it. But how long will that take? Is it like an hour later, this water has been running the entire time? That's not necessary, We do need to take ownership and realize that our actions do have consequences, and for the good too. We can create change. We don't have to just, oh, that's not my problem, someone else will take care of it. We can be the person to take care of it. And it feels good. Not like I'm such a good person, but it feels good to be like, hey, that was in my power and I chose to do something about it. And actually, I can do a lot of things that I set my mind to. I don't know. Other people might see it and start doing it, and it creates a shift of self-perception. Like, actually, there's more in my power than I realize. Or I just did it and I took charge of a situation and I got results. And it starts maybe leaching into other things, like I can just ask for a raise. I can tell this person my boundaries when they're being shitty to me. So it kind of changes the way you think, and it's not as useless as it may seem. This might seem like a reach, but I think you know what I'm saying. But I guess if you're watching this, you already have a desire to make change. So maybe you might be more motivated than someone else. Maybe those people who aren't interested in this at all are not even watching this video. So kind of a catch-22. But anyways, if you are here and you're new to trying to be sustainable, I'm really proud of you for trying. It's a huge change. When it comes down to every little thing that you can do, it gets overwhelming. Like even like, okay, I'm buying less, or now I'm buying natural soaps, but like my makeup or the pens I write with, it's so overwhelming. So take it with baby steps. Do not try to take the whole thing in one, or like a million different changes at once. It's gonna make you overwhelmed and you're gonna quit. What is that called? The paralysis or something of overwhelming. You get it. And usually I try to focus on things that will affect my body personally, like the chemicals in my skincare, because skin is the body's largest organ, for example. Aerosol, like the things we're breathing in. But today I'm focusing a bit more on things that we can do, things that are in our control. And although usually it's negligible, the differences that those things make, in the grand scheme of things, it is the large corporations that have the control. The things we do aren't going to change that much. Even recycling, it seems like it's a scam. A lot of programs that are for recycling end up going to the same landfill, same place. We shouldn't necessarily be focusing on recycling. It should be reducing. Reducing how much you're purchasing and consuming is huge. Then reusing the things that we do purchase, and then recycling. Recycling is at the bottom of that list for a reason, but I have a lot of ways that I try to be sustainable. I have like bar shampoo, soap, and face wash. Make sure you're using a soap saver that definitely degrades if you're letting it sit in water. I have a bamboo toothbrush. Let me know if you have questions or suggestions for other things I can talk about, either with sustainability or fashion or anything at all, really.